And we are live. All right, welcome to a random show with Dave and Grim. This ain't no special podcast, nothing. Just basically me and Grim Pachi doing a podcast. We're gonna talk about some of the latest gaming stuff, of course, the Switch. We're gonna talk about there's like a rumor going around that there's gonna be a PS5 very soon. That in my opinion, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you never know. There's some Project Scorpio news, and just more Nintendo this podcast than anything, because that is the big topic, and I'm sure the new Mass Effect will be out. What's the name of that Mass Effect, Hibachi?
Was it Andromeda?
Yeah, Andromeda. I'm not familiar too much with the Mass Effect series. I don't follow it that much. It looks like a good game, don't get me wrong, but I had somebody ask me, the other day if I was going to get it, and I was like, man, I got a lot of long games to begin with. I don't need any more long games. It looks good, don't get me wrong. But, I've never really got into that series. I only played the one on the Wii U, a little bit of it, and I was like, man, this is the third one. I'd rather play the first one and start it from there, but just one series I never really got into, and I don't know. What about you, Grim? Are you going to get the new Mass Effect?
Yeah, but probably not at launch because, like I said, I'm trying to get my stuff together, my mind together, so I can get the Wii U or a Switch so I can play that Zelda. So I'm not buying any games right now until I get that.
Okay, I don't blame you. It's a lot. It's and two with the Switch. I was at Best Buy, or no, my bad, GameStop today, and remember they were talking to those GameStop bundles. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was in the store and I was just looking at Switch accessories and stuff like that, and they actually have little papers next to the games that they're advertising the Switch bundles. They got two of them, and they're a lot higher they're a lot higher than they said they were going to be. Let's see if I can pull it up here, if I can see it. Hold on. All right, so you got a starter bundle. No, it's called Starter Bundle 1, going for $509.99. And it basically looks like, to me, it comes with the game Zelda. You get the expansion pass. You get Bomberman, and you get another pack of Joy-Cons. So that's $509.99. And then they have the starter bundle 2. That's $599.99. And you get a Zelda strategy guide. You get Zelda the game, the season pass, Just Dance 2017. You get snipper clips. I think that's like a downloadable title. It's digital. You get a like a micro. What is it? What is it? The micro SD cards, the ones that use the hard drive space.
Yeah.
Okay, you get one of them. I don't know what size because I can't really see it. I think it's. I can't really see it on my picture, but I think it's like I don't know. I can't really say for sure. You get Joy-Con like holders, I think like the charger thing. You get a screen protector. It's all you're getting like what you would probably spend for all that, but that's an expensive bundle. Do you think, Grim, or is that just me?
From what I heard, those GameStop bundles aren't really. They're a bundle, but they're not a deal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think what GameStop is doing is basically you get all that stuff, but that's not a deal. It's not like, oh, if I buy this bundle, it's cheaper. Because I think people were saying it before the Switch launch. GameStop had a bunch of bundles, and when you add it up, it's not like the bundle's cheaper. It's just they want you to buy all this stuff at one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were also saying GameStop had very limited. If you just wanted to buy a Switch alone, they didn't have that many of those, but they had tons of the bundles. Now, obviously, the bundles seem to be created by GameStop. It's not like Nintendo came up with these bundles. Those bundles are stuff that they're basically saying, hey, if you want to buy a Switch, you got to buy all this other stuff with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's smart for their business, but what might end up happening is somebody go in and they just want to buy the Switch. If GameStop doesn't just sell them the Switch alone, then, you got to buy that whole bundle. They may not want all that stuff,
It is a 64 gigabyte SD card. You know, um, I guess they're giving you a Nyko power kit. So the kit that's coming by Nyko, and I'm not a big fan of Nyko. What about you?
I've never really used. The only thing I ever use of theirs is like the 360 battery packs. I think what
Mhm.
Nyko. That's the only thing I think I can remember that I used from them. And I know I had some Wii battery packs, Wii remote battery packs that were Nyko as well. They work fine. I know I'll use their battery packs. I haven't used anything else from them.
Well, if you order your Nintendo Switch bundle today and you have it you'll have it shipped to your home free before Easter, before it'll be before 4/16/17. So it's just like, to me, like I thought, like you know, they don't have any Switches in stock, but they sure got those bundles. And it was like, if you remember back with the PS4 when that was kind of hard to find, they had bundles for that and the Xbox One. They were like 700 or something like that. You know, I mean, it is. I agree with you. It's a smart idea for what GameStop's doing, but it's like, I just think it's funny. Oh, you can get the bundle, but you can't get the. It's like hard to get the console by itself. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I'll be truthful with it, with what I spent on the Switch recently. If you count the console, the Pro controller, the screen protector, the $40 warranty, the case, Zelda. I mean, I spent close to $500 probably, you know, for my Switch. So you're gonna spend that with a new console. Like, yeah, the PS4 was $400, but $700-800 later, after I got it, after getting games and shit. It's never cheap, a console launch. It's always expensive, or buying a new console in general. Like, even when I got the Xbox One when it was $350, I spent close to $500 with games and shit. It's just, and you want extra controllers. You got to get their online service. Now with Nintendo right now, they don't have their online service till summer, but that's usually the case. You'll be getting online service if you want that. You don't have to get it, but most people are going to get it. But it's expensive. It is. It is. What's up, 16-bit Gamester? The one named Shadow, Jordan Bizzle. I think I remember you. You know what, Jordan? You might be coming back to my memory. It's still kind of foggy, but I kind of remember you. I'm not sure. But I'll let you know if you come back. All right. To mine. All right. So you got. What do you want to get into first? Well, let's talk about this PS5 news first, I guess. So there is reports from analysts and just random rumors going around the internet that and it's been going on for a while. It's not really just new. People for some reason keep thinking that the PS5 is going to drop around like 2018. What's your thoughts on that, Grim?
I think that is retarded. I heard 1316 Killer say the same thing where he was like, "Oh, they'll drop the PS5." And in 2018, he said that because what they're going to try to do is, if the Scorpio comes out and it's better, then Sony's going to want to one up them, right? I'm gonna tell you what the issue with that is. Sony already came out and said they've been working on the Pro as soon as the PS4 came out. They normally work on their next system as soon as they're done with the first system, right? So that would mean that they are just now working on the PS5. It's been a year since the Pro's been out, less than a year. It just came out last November, right?
Yeah.
So how long have they worked on this PS5? And if you listen to what Sony is saying, they still believe in traditional console generations. They're saying their next PlayStation will not just be the PS4, but we're going to slap a 5 on it. So that means it's going to probably run games differently. It's not going to, it may or may not be x86 architecture. It may not, it may or may not be backwards compatible. Now, to be fair, if they just released a PS4 again, made it more powerful, everything else is pretty much the same, and developed, essentially, you can basically put a PS4 disc in a PS5 because it works identical. It's just better hardware. Then maybe that would work, and it would make sense to come out in 2018. But if they dropped something in 2018, when did they have opportunity to work on this? Were they working on this alongside working on the Pro? Like when is the like when did they have time to develop a unit? That's what I'm saying. So that doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, they just dropped their Pro. There's the PS4 is doing really good right now. It's been doing good the whole generation. Why would they try to make a new machine right now that's going to
Well,
replace the PS4?
well, the thing is too, like, now it's like the fourth year of these consoles, and it's been a good year so far, and we're only at the beginning of the year. Like, we got Resident Evil 7, which was a great game. We got Horizon, which, is a pretty good game. You're getting all good games. Then Zelda's come out. I'm just saying this is for all consoles. Like, it's now all the games are rolling out. I know the Switch is new, but Zelda was a game that's been worked on for a little while now. You got Mass Effect about to drop the new Mass Effect. You got Injustice 2. It's just gonna be a great year for gaming, and I couldn't see them gearing up for a fucking PS5. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And they just dropped the Pro, like you said. And Sony would be fucking stupid to totally start over again. Like, they don't want the sales of the PS4 just to be, they don't want to have to start over again and start from, 0 units sold when they're at the highest, when they're in the lead. They're the ones that are winning right now, and they don't want to be starting a new game, and I just don't see it. What I would say 2000, I'd say 2020 if we do see anything to 21. I mean, I couldn't see it any sooner than that. 2000 even.
Yeah, I would probably say 2021, 2020, the latest 22. I mean, for all we know, though, it may last just as long as the PS3. So that would mean we're 4 years in. I mean, we got 4 more years from now.
Yeah.
So that would be like 21. Yeah, 2021 or
I mean, if they were to do one in 2018, that would be ripping your consumers off completely. Like, you just did an upgraded console for what? For a couple of years? Like, just for like, maybe, whoa, not even a couple of years. My bad. Let me
maybe
back
some
that
months.
up. My bad. I'm sorry. That just don't make sense. It just don't. They did that because, well, there's so many reasons why they did those consoles. They say because of VR. They say to, basically, I guess to keep up with the time. People were saying that the PS4 is outdated, or I heard so many different fucking things. But I think they basically just did it to keep it fresh, keep this generation fresh. But I think you'd be perfectly fine. Like, I'm gonna be perfectly fine with my PS4 the whole generation, my vanilla model. I'm not. If my PS4 breaks, then I would get a Pro. But if I can make it the whole gen with my PS4 and my Xbox One, I'm good. I don't care. Um. Okay, so that's the news. Yeah, I agree with you on that totally. Who's the one named Shadow said Sony is going to shoot themselves in the if they release the PS5 in 2018. I guess he meant foot. Yes, I agree totally. 16-bit Gamer says I gave 2.5 years or 3 years for the PS5 to come out. I could see like 3 years, 3, 4 years, Um, 2 would be like kind of soon, Sony should stick with the X86. I mean, the thing with Sony right now, it's just they got the ball and they're winning. There's no reason for them to have to start over. If it's going to be anybody that's going to start over, it'd be Microsoft. And
I
then
honestly think this generation could probably last up to like past 10 years, because the only reason I say that is because people are really comfortable right now. Like the generation, yeah, it started in 2012, but I would say really the end of last year and this year it's really getting good. Like it
yeah,
almost felt like it was like the couple years before that were kind of the generation is now really picking up, especially for Sony. So why would they stop now? Like it'd be almost like Sony stopping you know, they'll be stopping right when the getting is getting good. It doesn't make sense. So I could see them lasting long. Now, unless, you know, games start to die down and dwindle again, which I don't really see that happening, then they may push it out earlier. But I could see this generation even probably going past 8 years, because people say, oh, every generation is 5 except for the last one. Well, I mean, if you look way, way back in history, I mean, systems never really stop. Even when a new machine would come out, the other machine would get support for a long time. So I don't know what they'll do. Like the PS5, as in a new PlayStation that doesn't like work the same as a PS4, for them to drop that now wouldn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. And Bro said only reason there is PS5 talk is because of the Scorpio. We all know that, and you're probably right on that. I mean, the thing is, I understand the the Sony fanboys don't like talk of a more powerful console. They want theirs to be the most powerful because the PS4 was the most powerful there in this generation there for a while. Well, it is still now. And don't get me wrong, but if the Scorpio comes out, like they have confirmed at 6 teraflops, it's going to be the most powerful console. You know, but they don't want that. You know, Sony fans. Not all, but most. You know, Sony is going to milk the PS4 as long as they can. 16-bit Gamer says, yeah, I believe they would. You know, it just wouldn't make sense for them to start over when you're winning. Like when and of course they want their console to be like a really good selling console, so they have bragging rights. You know, I'm sure they want to have the PS4 be like one of their top selling consoles if they can, because the PS2s, you know, did those numbers. They like to maybe beat the PS2. I mean, I just don't see them ending this generation, you know, anytime soon. It's just getting good now. Usually you get good games the third year, and we're getting them the fourth year. It's getting like, this is going to be an action-packed year. And I know, like, a lot of people say that every year, oh, this is going to be the great year. No, this year so far, you're seeing game after game after game that's good. Like you got, like I said, Resident Evil 7. That was a really good game. You got Horizon. From what I played and what I've heard, it's a really good game. Ghost Recon. From what I played, it's pretty good. You know, like I have not got a dud yet. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, good game. You know, and it took 4 years to start really doing something like that. And like what, you know, if you look back in the last 3 years, like can you tell me like any of those years where you can name a bunch of good games like off the rip? Can you, Grim, or in this generation?
You could name some that came out, but not like back to back to back to back. No.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like in the beginning of the year, like they just keep coming out, good ones.
No, I don't. I can't think of a year that was like that this generation.
Yeah, and that's why. And then usually, like with other generations, you usually see that like the third year, you'll start seeing some good games. This generation took a little bit longer, but it's here, and it'd be dumb to end that just to start over. And these developers have to get used to the new hardware and give us all kinds of bullshit excuses of why they can't do this and why they can't do that. You know, I'd rather pass on that for a little while. I mean, are you like the person that has to have new consoles all the time? From like meaning you always want a new console, like you get like you remember how like some YouTubers were saying, "Oh, I'm tired of being on my PS3. I'm sick of it. You know, I want a new console." I wasn't
No,
like,
if I'm cool with what I got, like right now, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for Zelda, um, the Switch would be pointless, and it's still kind of pointless because I'm just going to buy a Wii U instead. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've always it's about the game. If I want that game, then I get the unit that I need for the game. But if until the games come, then the unit is kind of like it's kind of pointless to me.
yeah, that is true. I have to give you that one. So yeah, that's the PS5. Our thoughts on that. It's pretty much like what I just highly doubt that. I think it's just like how the one I think it's Ant Bro said the only reason there is PS5 talk is because of the Scorpio, and because we all know that. And I totally agree with that, and what Grim said, and what I'm saying too. I guess we'll get into some Nintendo stuff. All right, so there is like, what do you think about all these defects and stuff? grim, you know, these consoles that are making demonic sounds, you know, the screens being scratched, what else is going on? Joy-Cons, the syncing, I don't know. One guy got eaten by a Switch. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think about all this stuff?
I think that, you know, it sucks for those that's experiencing it. I don't think it's good, and I think that people should stop trying to damage control them, because that's the biggest thing I'm not getting. Like, I hear people say, "Oh, well, the PS4 and Xbox One had issues at launch." Okay, that wasn't good either. Like, it's almost like people are saying that to make the Switch problems less a problem. No, anytime stuff is happening, no matter who it is, it's not a good thing. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I
or
agree.
people say, you know, oh, I hear crazy stuff like, oh, just stop complaining, get a replacement. Unless you send it to Nintendo, and only if Nintendo thinks it's an actual issue. Where are you getting a replacement from? You can't even buy a Switch. Like my Wii U, the very first one I
Yeah.
ever had, the gamepad didn't hold a charge, right? I went right back to Target where I bought it, told them what happened. They just said, hey, bring it in. We'll give you a brand new Wii U. Yeah, when you got them in stock, they can do that. You got nothing in stock, you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much just stuck. You know,
Yep.
so, you know, I'm hearing people say, you know, oh, they need to get over it, or people are just complaining. No, because these issues exist. Now, you know, Nintendo came out and said they're not massive issues, they're not widespread. I mean, they're Nintendo. They, of course, I mean, I don't think they would ever say, yeah, we have a widespread problem with our units. They would never.
No,
Why would they say that? I don't even think Microsoft ever admitted that they had a widespread problem with the Red Ring of Death. You know, maybe after the fact, but not during that time. I know they didn't.
well, see, with the Xbox, like the reason I said in my video why it's normal for console launches for this stuff to happen, because it's happened with every launch pretty much. There's always been an issue, like, and you know, it goes on with everything. It ain't just consoles. It's with new phones. It's with cars. You buy a new car for that year, it might have problems with the fucking. There might be a sensor that don't work. There might be an issue of a recall. Like, you know, it's going to happen, you know. But I will say this, the Switch has more reports of problems than any console I've seen this generation, of things wrong with it. And I that's from what I'm seeing. Like I suggested in my video, you know, if you're one that can't wait, you get a warranty. I can literally take my Switch right now, throw it against the wall as many times as I want, and get my money back if I want, or wait till they get a new one. You know, but my suggestion would always be to wait at least a year on a new console, a whole year, because by the time a year's up, they're gonna have a lot of that shit ironed out, and it's gonna be good to go. But most people are gamers, can't wait like myself, and it's not the case. So I'd suggest a warranty, you know. But yeah, I'm with you. I understand. I think I will say this, even though I'm happy with Nintendo lately, they have more issues at launch than any console this generation. But see, like my brother, he had a bad issue with his Xbox One. He had like this green screen of death thing going on where it was like fixable at first, and then the second time it fucked his whole console up. But both times he had to send his and it happened back to back. Like he sent his Xbox in, they had it for a month, they fixed it, got it back, they did it like a couple weeks later. And then again, I looked up on YouTube, they had that issue, but you didn't hear many people talking about it. With the Wii U, I had the desyncing problem with the gamepad. I couldn't walk a foot away from the fucker without it telling me I was unstable, like the thing was unstable. It needs to connect. It was making that little noise. Then I had to send in for that. Then I had to send in for it couldn't read certain disc. My PS4 right now hasn't done it again, but it has this issue where it was shooting the disc out. But I seen it looked online, and a lot of people had that problem. They told you to go in safe mode, do all that, and then do the screwdriver trick that I did. Because I guess you use the screwdriver, and it makes, I guess over time, one of the bolts get loose, one of the nuts for the disk drive. So you tighten it up. I don't know. There's stuff that just isn't talked about too, like that too much. But yeah, I do have to agree. There is a lot more problems than normal with other launches. Now what this whole screen thing, Tim, like with the screen scratching, what if they were to do a recall on it? Let's say that was an actual big issue. For the people that already have it, what do you think they would do?
I mean, they would have to. I mean, Nintendo would have to. For the people who already have the normal one, they would have to deal with that or buy the unit that doesn't scratch. I mean, and that's another thing too. Like I hear people, I seen people talk about, oh, these people are being too rough with their unit, but I'm like, I'm watching people say these silly things like, oh, this is how you put the Joy-Con in the grip, and you guys just are putting it in there all fucked up. First of all, you don't know how the people put it in there. Could they have done that? Sure, I'm not saying they didn't, but when I watch you, not you, Dave, I'm saying when I watch people say this is how you put the Joy-Con in the grip, and I mean it's not Joy-Con, the grip, the switch inside the little base stand thing or whatever, right? The dock, and I see how they're handling this thing like it's a newborn baby. Yeah. Yeah. You're doing that as a demonstration to show people this is how you put it in there. Dave, you come home from work, you get your Switch, and let's just say your Switch was in the dock. You didn't even take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just pull the motherfucker out because that's what you're going to do. No one's going to be delicate with something 24 hours a day. Even eventually, if you have a kid, eventually you're going to throw the motherfucker across the room and it gets on your nerves or something. Like it's this idea of, oh, you need to be careful with it. Well, that's not going to happen all the time. And the fact that I seen what the Switch dock is, it is just pretty much plastic.
Well, if you see the little rubber piece though that it holds, like when you put it in, it's a little rubber piece. So is that what they're scratching their Switch on?
Well, inside the dock, I saw what they were saying where people are probably getting scratched at. Along the front part of the dock, there's these thick pieces of plastic looking things that are coming out. And they're saying that they think people getting scratched by that part. I'm not really sure.
I'm looking at it now, and it's like I think it's like a little rubber piece, and I couldn't see it getting scratched on that. I see it could make a mark on your Switch, maybe. Um, I don't know. It's like a rubber. You could probably like shave that down if you're worried about it. Anchor. Like I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it doing. I mean, if you get a screen protector, you should be good to go, especially tempered glass. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the screen protector would do you good. I mean, and I've also heard people say, "Oh, just get a screen protector." But again, it goes back to what I was saying when I was talking about the problems with the Switch. You're now having to fix issues that Nintendo is causing me. Not like if I got a screen protector because I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck it up, that's different. I don't think anybody would ever think the device that goes with my Switch that's made by the same company that made both devices would hurt my other device. You get what I'm saying? It's just like I mean, this probably would never happen, but let's just say you bought a TV, comes with a TV remote, but the TV remote messes up your television, and then people tell you, well, just go buy another remote that's not made by this company. But it's like, why would you ever think that this thing made by the same people would damage it? So now you got to go out and get us, because honestly, I got 3DS and a Vita. I don't have a screen protector for anything. I don't have a screen protector for my phone. I don't really damage any of the things I have. So I don't buy screen protectors. But I don't mind doing that. But why am I doing that? For the Switch, I'll be doing that not because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. I gotta buy that to protect from Nintendo's dock. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I think people miss that point when I bring it up, and they just say, "Oh, just go buy a screen protector." It's cheap. It's not about the money. It's about why am I having to buy something to fix something that the company didn't do?
Yeah, I get your point on that totally. I'm just like one that always buys screen protectors. Like I buy them for my like tablet. I bought the tempered glass. That's just something that I do. Like I'm used to just. I get what you're saying though. Why should I have to buy that if I'm not one that scratches my screen and don't use them? I get it totally with that. Yeah. I mean, it's not. To me, it's not. I haven't experienced. I've been looking at my screen lately to see if I see any scratches, which I won't. But I was trying to see if there's any smudges or anything on my screen from for like on the screen protector. But I haven't seen nothing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could see if you're like if you like just throw it in there. I'm usually pretty gentle when I put mine in. But there is gonna be a time probably where I'm not gonna be gentle. I totally get what you're saying with that. There might be one day where I'm just not gonna be gentle, So I get that too. I'm trying to look inside the Switch right now. Yeah, it's like actually it's not a rubber, it's more of like a harder surface of it.
You talking about those two things that's coming out on both sides?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
I think that's just hard plastic. It's not. I don't think that's rubber.
Yeah, it's not rubber. It's like hard plastic. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Plastic on plastic will make it scratch up. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't. It looks like it's like not like slammed against it, but it might be a defect of how they made it. Now, the one thing that I don't really care for what they did with the Switch is the Joy-Cons, those Joy-Con straps. I just feel like you have to really force, not real hard, but it's just harder than doing any other way you would use the Joy-Cons. Like if you put it in handheld mode, I don't have to put that much pressure on it to get it loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're talking about the little black things that slide on the side.
The straps.
Yeah.
The straps. Yeah, the Joy-Con straps. But when you do it a few times, it gets like easier to do it. So I guess over time it's easier to do it. Because now I've done it a few times, but the first time you're like, wow, that bitch is hard to get off. And on one of the Joy-Cons, I put it on the wrong way. And luckily, I didn't have like a kid smooth problem where I broke my Joy-Con. I was able to get off. He took like a knife to it. I think I could. That's what I thought I thought I heard he did with it. And that's not good. You don't never take a knife to any like electronics.
Yeah. I saw a video. I think it was Mr. T's video. He was showing it off, and he was just like, "You don't have to press the button; it just comes off this way, and it comes off with ease." And I'm like, I'm looking at him, apply a lot of force to bring it off, and I'm like, man, if the thing is hard to take off, it's hard to take off, huh?
Who are you talking about?
I was watching a video Mr. T put up where he was.
Yeah, you see the force he.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, it just comes off." I'm looking at you. It don't just come off. You still are putting force with it. Like it doesn't just slide. Like I've seen people take it off the unit, like how you slide it on to make it portable. Mm-hmm. Now that just comes right off. You putting in the grip, that comes just right off. You putting those things on, no. Those people I've seen, like the only time I've heard people say, "Oh, it comes off smooth now." It's like they say, "Oh, I broke mine," so yeah, now it comes off smooth because they popped it.
Well, it was weird. Obi-Wan did a video of pressing the lock thing in, and I was able to do that for like a day, and then after a while, I couldn't do it that way anymore. I don't know. I don't know why. But now I have to go and pull it apart the other way. So I think that was definitely a design flaw with that. I don't know how much over time that will be good for the Joy-Cons, the rail, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and I think the rail is plastic as well. So
yeah, I mean, I think over time, a lot of this stuff you keep doing it, you're gonna have some shit breaking. But I always recommend a warranty. But yeah, I mean, the best thing I will say it again, wait a year for any console if you can, because like when I got my Xbox One, I bought it later on. I didn't have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? They got all the bullshit out of it,
Yep.
But when you get a lot of these consoles day one, like, see, the reason I don't look too much into these issues, because if I'm aware of every issue, I'm going to be looking for those issues all the time. Every time I'm playing my Switch, and it's annoying. I don't know if you guys ever experienced something like that, or you experienced something like that, Grim. When somebody points out something you have, and like, oh, this could happen, you're always looking for that. That's me.
Yeah, with the that's why I wasn't in a big hurry about Xbox 360 because I knew too many people that had red rings and stuff like that, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait for them to make a model that doesn't do red ring, and that's what I did. And I only paid $50 for my 360. It was a brand new 360. Paid $50 for it.
Yeah, that's what I paid for one of mine after the third ring of death. It was like 50 or 60 bucks with all came in with tax. But I mean that's a good price too. I mean it's good to wait. Now there is a pixel problem too. That they're saying that and they actually said Nintendo stated that is normal. That
Yeah,
your
that's
pixel,
bullshit.
yeah, that's straight up bullshit. It's not normal. I'll tell you one thing. My brother had got a TV from Best Buy, an Insignia, whatever it's called, their brand, and he got a warranty on it. But he said like something happened with one of the pixels, like the pixel went out, and I wasn't aware of it until he told me. He's like, "Yeah, the pixel right here." So now every time I look at the TV, I see the fucking pixel. I can't help it, you know. But before, when I didn't know anything about it, I didn't notice it. But like that's another thing. If I see a pixel go out on my Switch, I'm gonna be looking at that motherfucker all the time. And I'm sorry, that I'm not buying. Like if I have pixels go out of mine, they'll be taking it back or something.
Yeah, and it's not even like one pixel. Like, I mean, honestly, if it's one pixel, maybe in handheld mode, you would probably notice that a lot.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, I'm talking about, you know, the mode where you have it on the kickstand and you're kind of maybe a little bit further away and it's not right in front of you. You may not notice that. And really, even in portable mode, you may not notice it. But I mean, if it's a bunch of them, like I've been seeing, oh yeah, you're gonna know. Like I have a TV where I just have like straight lines going down of my TV of dead pixels, and it's I notice them, but I've had that TV for so long that like if I'm doing something or really into whatever I'm watching or playing a game on, I tend to forget it's there, but I know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help but to see them. They're like these. It's just imagine a black line going down your television.
Mm-hmm. The one name Shadow says, remember when the Wii launch people were breaking their TVs playing Wii Sports because the wrist straps were crap? Nintendo gave out free, better made replacements. I heard of something like that. You remember that, Grim?
I remember people doing that, but I remember it differently. I remember people not using the strap.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he may be right. I'm not sure, but when I remember people breaking their TVs, they didn't have the strap on. So, you know, they're playing the game and the Wii remote may leave their hand by accident. They didn't have the strap on their wrist, so the Wii remote just goes flying. So, but I don't know. They could. I mean, I have a Wii remote. I mean, as long as I've known the Wii, the strap has been the same. It's a strap. It's just. I mean, it's nothing
Yeah.
different about it.
Well, that's what
Like anything else.
that's what those straps are for the Joy Cons. But it actually gives your buttons like it turns your when your Joy Cons are by themselves, it turns it more into a controller. Like the on top of the Joy-Con straps actually has buttons too, like button covers that like. But they have these things at Target where you can buy actual covers for your Joy-Cons where it gives it buttons too. I would go with one of them before using those Joy-Con straps. And I looked today at Target if they had any. I heard they're 15 bucks, and I think it comes with two of them. And
Yeah.
that's what I'll go. I seen some guy in a video with them. I was like, yeah, that's the way to go if you're gonna play a lot of split screen on the tabletop mode. Or you don't even have to use the Joy-Con straps. You can just press the buttons without putting any of that shit on there. You know what I'm saying? Like it has buttons you can press on there that are smaller. Um, One name Shadow said Nintendo gives out free replacement switches for people having problems. Ant Bro says the issue is a poor design of for the dock. I went and grabbed some felt strips until screen protector arrives. Smart move. Um, Ant Bro said also it's the plastic on the front of the dock placed two felt strips. An issue is avoided. Bad design. You would have thought that would have been tested. Agree with you, Grim. Should have to jump through hoops. Yeah, I agree with Grim on that too. Now, I did hear this though. A lot of people are saying that Nintendo pulled the docs from the website, but somebody confirmed that they were just sold out. Nintendo said they were just sold out. They didn't pull them.
Yeah, I heard that too. That Nintendo, basically, they weren't sold. They were sold out, but Nintendo put them up on a different site. I don't know why they did all that, but Yeah, they're not, as far as we know, they are not making a new model of that of the dock. So
Well, and then Armored, he sent me a video of how cheap the dock is made, but you know the dock is just to fucking charge your Switch and put it in TV mode. That's all it's for. I
yeah,
didn't expect. Did you expect it to
it's
have
just
a bunch of
plastic.
electronics to it? You know.
Me, no. I mean, but I mean, it is just plastic. I mean, because the only reason why I didn't expect it to do too much of nothing is because when Nintendo said that the dock doesn't do anything but help, it just displays the image. But then I knew it wasn't going to have any real electronics in it. All it has is a little motherboard so that you could plug up the HDMI and the I think you could put the USB port in and stuff like that. It doesn't do anything. The only thing is I don't understand why they made that thing out of all that plastic, or at least they could have put some rubber in there. That's the only thing I didn't get. But like the Wii U, I don't know if you remember, the Wii U gamepad had a charger stand. They could have just made it that way, like made it smaller. I mean, I think what they were thinking was let's build it in, like make it kind of enclosed so that if something were to fall or whatever, it'll protect the unit, but it doesn't, because when you put it in the dock, if it falls forward, the damn switch is coming out. If it falls to the side, it's coming out. It doesn't matter. It's not really protected in their thing. So that front cover plate on the dock doesn't really need to be there. They could have like made it where it leans onto something, kind of like the Wii U gamepad had a stand that you could also use it to charge with. You could make it lean on it, and then it'll be fine that way. But I don't, maybe they'll do a redesign one day. But
Yeah, I think they'll do one day maybe, but I just don't see them doing it now. I couldn't see
yeah,
them doing it now. I mean, the Switch, I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and damage control. I wish it had more features than it did, but I understand that they had to get in my opinion, they had to get something going. The Wii U was not doing good. I mean, if I was Nintendo, I wouldn't see no more time, no more. I would feel it'd be a waste of time to put any more resources into the Wii U. I would just get going with the Switch, get the ball rolling. Because if third party's not going to help them out, if say they don't, at least Nintendo will be prepared a little bit better. Because the more time they waste on the Wii U, that's less time for the Switch. I mean, I just roll with the Switch. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, it sucks, I will say, but I mean, their features are coming for like the online shit this summer. You know, I mean, my suggestion though to anybody is if you do not want to buy, you do not want to play Zelda, there is no reason for you right now to get a Switch at all. And if you have a Wii U, I would just get Zelda on that. But if you're in my situation and you don't want nothing to do with the Wii U, and you want to play Zelda, yeah, get a Switch. It's worth it, right? I mean, that's a console seller right there. That
uh,
game, it's good.
and if you're like me, like I know Dave doesn't like the Wii U. Like if you're like me, I had the Wii U, or even if you never had a Wii U, if you never had a Wii U, this would probably be the perfect time because shit for the Wii U is cheap. Like I've seen, a matter of fact, a lot of those Zelda amiibos that's used for the new Zelda game. Instead of being 12, I've seen them like $5 in Walmart. I've seen the Wii U Pro controller for $12 on sale new. Nintendo's putting a lot of their games on that Nintendo Select program, so they're $20. And the Wii U games are getting lower, and I'm telling you right now, the Wii U is going to become one of those rare systems because I can't find a new Wii U anywhere in any store. So me, when I get my Wii U, I'm at the order it from Nintendo, and right now Nintendo is selling like limited edition Wii U's that they weren't around that much. So if you guys are collectors or you want some rare shit, you might want to hop on a Wii. I mean, if you really just want to play Zelda, it's still cheaper to get a Wii. You can go buy a Wii from Nintendo for $200. If they have the tax and shipping, you're paying like $24. And you buy Zelda. So you pay
Well,
like what,
reason too, I would say with the Switch, if you want to get headed in the new direction and get. I mean, if you want to, because people are going to want to switch by the end of I would say as soon as like Splatoon hits, you're gonna have some games out by then. You'll have Street Fighter HD. You'll have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There'll be stuff out. Right now, it's just Zelda. Unless you're interested in Bomberman. I mean, I like Fast RMX. It's a pretty good game. I like that, but that's still, to me, even with that, it's not enough unless you want Zelda. You know. I mean, I see what Grim's saying. I totally agree. It's probably going to be a rare item and shit. I'm just saying, if you want to get rid, get your, basically, if you want to get on board with the new system, get ready to start with the ball rolling. What I'm saying, like, if you want to get that out of the way and not have to pay later on $300, and stuff like that. It's all depending on what you want to do, really.
Yeah, I mean, because I honestly think that the Switch is selling for a pretty good game. And what's going to eventually happen once Nintendo stops bullshitting around, because I'm trying to tell you people, the Switch is the reason you can't find it is because Nintendo is purposely not making that many. Now, I'm not saying that they have to make a bunch, but I'm saying that is why it's like ever since the Wii, and see with the Wii, they didn't mean to not make that many. They just didn't think it was going to do as good as they did. Ever since the Wii came out, they was putting out very small amounts of all their units. They've been doing it since then. They're doing it right now. That's why the NES Mini, that doesn't cost them anything. That's a piece of plastic with like an emulator built inside. That thing could be mass produced like nothing. They're not mass producing it because they want to create false hype. Right
Yeah,
now,
I agree.
a lot of people that have Switches, they're like, it's cool, I like it. But honestly, if Zelda wasn't there, I don't think these people they wouldn't even recommend the Switch, because at this point, the Switch it's just the Switch and Zelda is 1-to-1. You can't, if you buy a Switch without Zelda, you're the odd man out. You're a very you're not a part of the mass majority of people. They're buying it for that one game.
But
So
Grim,
that
hold on. Let's back up to the PS4 and Xbox One. Say the PS4 and Xbox One didn't have third party, and what you had was for the PS4, you basically had Killzone 4 and Knack. Would that be a system seller?
I mean, no. I mean, I'm honestly not really sure, because I don't know if this was just bullshit, if this was true, but people were saying the best exclusive on the PS4 was fucking Resogun. So I mean, I don't
No, but I'm just
really.
saying, like, let's keep it real here. Remember, a lot of people in the beginning, including myself, PS4's first year, a lot of people regretted that did get rid of their PS3, was wanting to go back to their PS3.
Oh yeah, everybody was doing it. Everybody was regretting getting rid of all their stuff. But if you're saying like, if you're saying, if you're trying to say Sony's exclusive, do they compare to Zelda? No.
No, what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's a fucking awesome launch game. Like, you don't even get a game like we're lucky to get a game like that a generation. You're getting that at launch. Like, it usually takes like 4 years or 5 years to get a game like that, and they're giving you that, day one on the Switch. But I mean, there is the Wii U factor. I understand that, but I'm saying it's still a launch title.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like I was saying, it's right now. Like I hear people say they're gonna get Mario Kart 8, you know.
And then ARM's got on Amazon, it's got a release date for May 2nd.
Yeah, people say they're gonna get Arms and stuff like that, and I want to play Arms and I want to play that stuff, but
I want all their exclusives that are coming, most of them, like ARMS, Splatoon 2, Street Fighter, the remastered. I'm a huge Street Fighter 2 fan from back in the day. It's like my favorite Street Fighter. That was enough. I mean, I'm being honest with you. That was one reason I got the Switch, like, at launch, just so I could play that when that comes out. That was like a game that was for me a system seller, because that was like a big thing in my childhood. I loved that Street Fighter. And then when they sped up Street Fighter, like, I like Street Fighter 5, but I would always take the old one over the new any day of the week. And then they got Splatoon 2. I never got to play Splatoon 1. I wasn't buying a Wii U again to play Splatoon 1, but I heard it's a really good game, Splatoon 1. I'm sure the second one's going to be better, so, you got that. You got Mario Odyssey that looks awesome, what's another one? Oh, and there's a possibility. I never played this series, but I know a lot of people are happy for it if it does come this year. Xenoblade 2?
yeah, Xenoblade 2 is supposed to come out. I didn't get to play the one on Wii U, so like I said, for me, because I'm getting the Wii U instead of getting the Switch. I mean, there's a shit ton of games that I'm end up getting for the Wii U. So about time I'm done with the Wii U, that's gonna be maybe a year or two later. And about time that happens, the Switch is probably gonna have a price drop. The kinks are probably gonna be worked out. They may even make a bigger model because I'm be honest with you, I do like all the features of the Switch, but and now if I get my hands on a Switch now and those Joy Cons don't irritate my hands and nothing like that, then fine. But I don't see that happening because the 3DS, I'm thinking about buying a grip for my 3DS. I haven't had one, and when I play simpler games, it's fine. When I want to play like Hyrule Wars on my 3DS, where it's a lot of fast paced action and movement, I have to like shake my hand like every now and again because my hand starts to lock up because it's just too small for my hand. So if the Switch is fine, then that's cool. But I would want them to probably make a bigger model or at least bigger Joy Cons or
I don't know
something.
if they're gonna do that. That would be a new design too. Well, I could see it later on, maybe. I mean,
Yeah, later on.
that's one thing I'm glad you just brought that up. There was a video by Rerez, I believe the YouTuber's name was, that one of my buddies sent me. That the guy was playing, his hand locked up. Man, I have big hands. I'm saying, like, I'm not just saying this. Like, I'm a fairly average. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm size 14 in shoe. Like, my hands are big. I'm not small dude. Uh, I'll tell you, the Switch is comfortable. It's not not as comfortable. Like, did you find the gamepad to be comfortable?
I had to figure out how to hold it, and then yeah, it became comfortable. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not far off from the gamepad. To me at least. If you can deal with the gamepad, you can deal with the Switch. The way it is in handheld mode. The only thing I would complain about it in handheld mode, I wish the battery life was a little bit better. Like, I'm a person that's just basically gonna plug it in and play and sit in the chair. I'm not gonna. I take my Switch to work and stuff, but if I do play it we ride usually to jobs, it takes an hour. That's about as much as I'm gonna play out of it. So I ain't gonna go dead on me. But if you played anything like like, it depends on what game it is. Like, especially Zelda, you're gonna probably get like 2.5 through, maybe about 2.5 hours out of it. I would say with Zelda, maybe two, something like that. Just depends. I mean, because I played it last night in handheld mode, and I think it was like 2.5 hours it lasted. But from a charge. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to redesign the Wiimote, or not the Wiimote, the Joy Cons. Like, I just don't see that.
I
They
think
could.
I think at least they could do is either reposition the buttons because if you look at any controller, and this is probably why the Switch in that grip, the Switch Joy Cons in the grip is uncomfortable to a lot of people. And I'm gonna talk about some of the silly mess I heard about that too. If you look at your Xbox One controller, your PS4 controller, the PS4 and even the Wii U gamepad, the PS4, the two analog sticks are on the same level, right? But if you look at the buttons and the D-pad, they're diagonal from each analog stick, right? The Switch, when you're in the grip, they're like perfectly up and down. That they did that so that when you hold it to the side, it's a little bit better when you're just using one on the side. But the issue, and even people say they have issues with it, even when you have them free, like you just have them out in your hand, free form. That stuff, it's uncomfortable. The ergonomics of it is not that good for most people, and you have to hold it. And the janky, like I was listening to Mr. T and Terminator Juice, and Mr. T was saying he likes that he has to hold it in a different way. Reminds him of the 64 controller. And I tell you right now, 64 controller is the worst controller I ever had in my hand. Like, I'm not one of these people that say this is the best controller ever. To me, a controller is a controller. I've never really, I don't know how to put it. Every controller that I've ever had was a good controller. I noticed the bad ones before I noticed the good ones, because it's almost like you ever had so much of a good thing that you don't really acknowledge that something is better than the other. You only acknowledge when something's shitty, right? That's how most controllers are for me. Wii Remote, I mean, fine. Xbox controllers, fine. The only controller I never really liked was the 64 controller. And that's that I don't know. I just never liked that controller. How you had to hold it in all these awkward ways. And when I'm seeing people with the Joy-Con, they're like, "Oh, I hold it with one hand, I grip it with one hand, and I use my other hand to and play it funk like they'll play in this funky, non-natural way." And I remember Terminator Juice was saying, "Yeah, I did what Mr. T said, and I see what he's saying. It's more comfortable this way." But Terminator Juice also said something too that I know because when I had the first 3DS, the original model, I did that. I held it with one hand normally, and I played in a different way that I wouldn't naturally play with in another hand, right? What ends up happening is if you're playing something simplistic that doesn't require a lot of like button presses, you may get away with that. He was saying when he was playing Zelda and he did that, as soon as he was dying or starting to lose, his brain, you naturally would start to hold it how you would normally hold it. Then you go right back to holding it normally, and it's uncomfortable. I'm not going to deal with all that personally. So if they put the joysticks diagonal from the buttons, or they put the joysticks in a different location or something with a new redesign, it could still be the same buttons on each controller. Just make them diagonal or something, or make the Joy-Con
Well, in the Wii mode, did they ever redesign that?
The only thing they did with that was add better motion. But as in the button placement, the button placements were fine for the Wii remote. Because if you hold, I got a Wii remote in my hand now. If you hold it to the side, it's long enough. And see, if you hold a Wii remote to the side, my thumbs perfectly are on the two buttons you would use, and it's on the D-pad, right? If you hold that Joy-Con, it's just like on the 3DS. I open up my 3DS, my thumbs naturally is on the D-pad. I would have to scrunch my thumb down in an awkward position. I mean, not the D-pad. It's on the analog stick perfectly. I got to scrunch my finger down and hit that D-pad. That's not comfortable to play that way. To me.
Yeah, that is true. Let me see. I'm looking at it right now.
And I got the XL model too, the 3DS XL. So
yeah, with the with Zelda, they have used when you're controlling it, you're using a lot of the top triggers and stuff to do stuff. Like a lot of the like when you're throwing stuff, and when you're switching in your menus and stuff, then you're using the D-pad on the side. I mean, I don't know. My suggestion, if this stuff is not for people, like I would definitely get a Pro controller, because the Pro controller, that thing is on fucking point. That is a nice. I think of it as like the elite Pro controller. Like I just love it. I mean,
now there is one thing with that though, is I don't see it happening for most games, but when I heard Blaster Master, you can't use the Pro controller, and there's no reason why you can't. It's not like it uses some type of special motion feature. Blaster Master they basically made a sequel to an NES game, and it still has the same combinations of an NES game. The NES only had two buttons and a D-pad. So why can't you use the Pro controller? No one knows. It just doesn't let you. So that I hope that was just the case with that game. You get what I'm saying? If more games.
Now is Blaster Master, who made that?
A studio called Sunsoft made.
Okay, that might be the developer or whatever, but I mean, I think they're gonna be using the Pro controller a lot. I mean,
yeah, as long as they make that if Nintendo makes a statement and make sure every developer say, hey, every game uses Pro, because I was surprised. I didn't know that ARMS used Pro controller. So
that's what I told people. People are like, it's funny, Grim. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do the motion controls with ARMS, but me, I'm not a motion control person, but like it seems like it would be fun with ARMS. I'd be okay with it with ARMS. But I told a lot of people you don't have to do that. You can just switch it off and just play like a traditional controller. It don't matter. You can do it either way.
Yeah.
So that and somebody, it's what's up, Derek Fisher? What's up, Pumpkinhead79? Thanks you guys for watching. 16-bit Gameser says Ultra Street Fighter 2 looks awesome. I just wish it was $40. It wasn't $40. I mean, I don't think that's a bad price, because they're putting online into the game. They're actually going to do like an HD thing with it. And if you have Gamers Club unlocked, you'll get it for like $31, like 32, something around there.
Yeah, it's like $30 because when I buy 3DS games from Best Buy, it's like $30 or something.
Yeah, so I mean, I always stress this all the time. I mean, I've been a Gamers Club Unlocked member for going on 2 years now, and it's the way to go. I mean, if you want like every new thing you buy of a new game, it's even if you buy a new game for $10, you're going to get a 20% discount. It don't matter. Even if it's on sale, as long as it's new, you're going to get a discount. And they do use game discounts, but not the 20%. And you get rebates. So, like certain games, you'll get like $10 back or $5 back. I think what has it go, Grim? Like with most games, you get.
Well, I think if it's a newer title, you get like a money rebate, but every game you get points back, and in those points, you get like depending on how many points you accumulate, you get like $5 or something like that, $10.
And certain games, like say it's like Ghost Recon. Like if you go on their website and you look at their $10 rebate thing for certain games, they'll have like usually a lot of Ubisoft games are like that. I know Forza was like that. One of the Forzas I bought, they gave me $10 back. They usually have a list of games. I looked the other day and it wasn't updated. But I'm sure a lot of the games coming out, like possibly Injustice, you might get $10 back. It just all depends when they update that.
Yeah, one time I saw Final Fantasy 15, you would have got $10 if you would have bought it or something.
Good. That's a good deal.
Oh, someone in the chat just said that they're going to update Blast and Master so I can use the Pro Controller. So that's good. As long as see now, even that, I wouldn't mind buying the Pro Controller. It's the reason. Like I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a person like anybody else, and if I buy something, like if I buy the Switch and it's uncomfortable for me to use, I'm not going to return it. So yeah, will I buy the Pro Controller? Sure, I won't be happy about it because, you know, the reason it's just like I haven't bought the Elite Xbox One controller. It's not because I don't want it. It's because I don't feel like I need it. And if I bought it, it'd be really because I just want them extra buttons. And it'll be like a spur of the moment purchase. Now let's just say the Xbox One controller was uncomfortable to use and it was fucking broken. And they fixed it all with the Pro, and I needed the Pro controller, or I just won't be having a good time. That's when I'll be like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So, you know, with the Switch, it looks like it's leaning into that mode because even diehard Nintendo fans are just like, hey man, this shit isn't comfortable to use. So they're like, I gotta go buy. I pretty much have to buy a Pro controller. So if that happens with me, I'll probably still end up buying the Pro controller, but best believe I will not be liking it.
Are they not liking it when it's in grip mode? Like when you put it in the grip mode? Like is that
well, a lot of people are just saying like in grip in the grip with the grip thing, they definitely don't like that. They're saying really all modes. It like people are saying like the Switch is like a jack of all trades, master of none, and they're like in the portable mode they could play longer in that mode, but even then it's still not comfortable. It's just not as bad as the other forms, right? So I have yet to hear anyone say, "Oh, this mode is perfectly fine, it's comfortable." No, every mode I've heard people say, "Hey, you know, I could play in portable mode the longest, but it's still not comfortable." You know, and that's the, you know, like me with the Wii U gamepad, I only like when I first had it, I just didn't hold it right. Like the Wii U gamepad actually has grips on the back. I wasn't gripping it right. So that gave me problems at first. But when I learned that, oh, it's grips on the back, so probably hold it here, then it was perfectly fine. You know, I don't know about the like I said, I hope when I get mine, it's I don't have any of these issues like what people are having.
I remember the Wii U. I had got one when it first came out. My buddy, it was coming over. He likes like PC gaming and shit, and he grew up on Nintendo and stuff, but I just kind of lost track of it. And he's like, "What is that over there?" I was like, "That's the new Nintendo." He says, "Oh, that's the new Nintendo." He says, he said, "But what's that?" And he was pointing at the gamepad. I said, "That's the controller." He said, "That's the controller." He says, "I bet you that's weird." And he got playing it. He says, "Man, this thing is comfortable." He's like, he says, "By looking at it," he says, "you wouldn't think that." And that's how I felt with the gamepad. You know, I wasn't one that I didn't dislike the gamepad. I will say the gamepad was more comfortable than this handheld mode for the Switch. Like, if I'm just suggesting to anybody, if you don't like the Joy-Cons or anything like that, I would definitely go with the Pro controller. It's a fucking awesome controller. It's $70, but you're getting like 80 hours of battery life. Like, that's an estimate, but that's a lot of hours, man. And it's just a really nice controller. I could see it being my favorite controller of the generation the more time I have to use it to actually say that. But right now, I am loving it. I am loving it. It is wonderful. And they were hard to find. I had to drive fucking Bristol, Virginia to get one. I wish I would just grabbed one the night I bought my Switch, but they, you know, I totally agree with you when you said this, that Nintendo just made so many of whatever. Like, how is a controller out of stock? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, they're
But
doing that on purpose because what's going to happen is if you want to switch because you just can't walk in and get it anytime you feel like it. What this will start to do, mentally to people is, oh, next time I see the Switch, I just got to get it out. And I know that's what it's going to do because the Wii, I got my Wii. I think I got my Wii really late. I got my Wii like before Mario Galaxy 2 came out or some shit. It was really late. And even then, Wii's were going like it was no tomorrow. Like it was people were still coming in the stores, and when Walmart would have them in stock, you would just see them snatching them up, running out like crazy. And it came to the point, because at the time I think I was like just starting high school. I asked my mom to give me one for Christmas, and anytime I saw a Wii, I told her, "Hey, look, it would be freaking July," and I'm like, "Hey, you might want to just get this right now, so we make sure I had it." But that's how bad it will end up being. Is that people? It's a smart business move, but see, because I know what the hell they're doing, I don't really fall for the crowd, because eventually what will happen is the hype will die down. Nintendo will then start making normal inventory of the unit, and then you can just walk in and buy one. But right now, Switches, I think there's still some stores kind of way far out from where I live that have like limited stock.
Mhm.
But most stores that's close by is freaking, they're not there, they're gone.
Well, Nintendo's like that with games too. Like, I remember when Splinter Cell Blacklist came on, because I bought third party for my Wii U. I was one of the people that did buy third party, and I was like the only dude in this whole area, only person, girl or guy, you know what I'm saying, like that had that Splinter Cell from a GameStop in like a 30-mile radius. Like, I was the only one that ordered it. Like, they didn't have no one. They just did a pre-order for it, and they're like they had all these pre-orders for like the PS3 version, the Xbox 360, or if it was on it, all these other versions. But I was the one with the Wii U version. The guy's like, "You're buying this on the Wii U?" I was like, "Yeah." I said it'd be a good online game for it, and that's crazy that I was the only one that got that in this area. Like, and that's the case with a lot of their games. Like, I've been looking for like Xenoblade Chronicles, for the 3DS, the new 3DS, and I believe that's the one that's the Xenoblade. I think it's called Chronicles. That one. Like, you can't find that new. Like, they all have it used, but it's like, decent ways away. Um, I don't know. It's like Nintendo's. You look at Sony and Microsoft. That's not the case. You always find a copy. The only one I had a hard time getting at first was Ratchet and Clank. Like, and it was sold out at Best Buy, but I went over to GameStop. They had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nintendo, they're one of those companies that makes so much of something.
Yeah.
And I'm like you. I said this with the NAS Mini. I mean, that thing shouldn't be that hard to produce, and you can't. I mean, they say every time it comes in at Walmart or Best Buy near me, it's gone in a matter of minutes. People are, wanting that. Did you ever see one at the store or no?
Nah, I haven't seen a Nintendo Mini at any store.
What are they going on eBay? Like, $500 or so?
Yeah, they're trying to sell them for high on eBay. I mean, Nintendo. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo is doing that themselves, because I see Wii U's on eBay sold by Nintendo for like $200. And people are selling Wii U game pads, just the gamepad, for a replacement for like $300-$400. Like, because people know the thing is going to be rare, and they're trying to, like, and people are looking for a Wii U because they know it's going to be rare. Like me, I'm getting the Wii U because it's just so many games I didn't get to play. If I got to play most of the games I wanted to play, then I just probably just get the damn Switch. But and I just wait like everybody else for the rest of the games to come, because really right now, playing Zelda is the main priority. But at the same time, I still want to play the other Zeldas I didn't get to play, and I could buy them for my Wii. I have a normal Wii. I can buy Twilight Princess for that, but that's still harder. That copy's still harder to find in the Wii U version. And the Wii U version is in HD, so I'd rather play that one anyway. But Nintendo knows what they're doing. It's like I can't find Link Between Worlds any fucking where.
Well,
Like, I have
that's
that
what
game.
I'm like you. I'm looking for that, and I found it used, but it said my Target had a new copy, but I still haven't asked them if they. Because I looked through the aisles and looked behind their little case things, and I didn't see the copy. But it says they have a copy of Link Between Worlds new.
Like I have the game digitally, but I want the physical copy, and it's
I want I want anything to do with my 3DS or my Switch. I want physical copies because I mean you can get a pretty. I think it was like 120 gig SD card for $60. The Switch, that ain't bad. But I mean as long as I have the actual cartridge, I can just run it off the cartridge, and that's one thing. A lot of people aren't praising Nintendo for doing with the Switch. I like that better than installing a fucking game and taking up all your space. Like that's one thing I'll give Nintendo. They're still keeping it like that, and I like that. But I want to get I thought it was a Xenoblade Chronicles that's on the new 3DS.
Yeah, I got that. Like when I bought my new 3DS, I just bought that as soon as I bought it. The new 3DS.
How do you like the new 3DS? Do you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It got benefits to it. Like I get to play. If you don't have a new 3DS, you can't play Super Nintendo games on it. I don't know why that's the case because I'm pretty sure the normal 3DS can run Super Nintendo games, but you need the new 3DS for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like my 3DS. Like my real honest opinion. Like right now, if you were to buy a Wii U, a Switch, or new 3DS, or even a 3DS, like and you don't have one of them, maybe 2DS. If you were thinking about getting that, I'd say get the 2DS, 3DS, or the new 3DS.
Yeah, like right now, their best system still is the 3DS because,
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they just have so many games, and they're still dropping games for it. And now the games are going on Nintendo Select. Now games are cheaper. Like I've been looking for Mario and Luigi, the RPG, and it was hard to find. But now Nintendo re-released it for $20. And Kirby, the first one they made for 3DS, they re-released that for $20. So now the games are cheaper. They're also going to be there in abundance. And I'm gonna tell you right now, just because those games were for $20, because this happened with the Wii. Nintendo released like Twilight Princess and a lot of their games for the Wii for $20. And when those sold out and they stopped printing those, man, they went right back up on eBay for like $70, $80 new. Like that's why I say if you see Wii games in the store or any Nintendo stuff, you might want to like my local Walmart has like a bunch of copies of Metroid Other M. I know that game wasn't loved very much, but eventually people are going to say, man, I want to play that game. And you can go to eBay, sell it, and mark it up. Like they got Mario Galaxy, Kirby, all some of the good Wii games and 3DS games for cheap. Buy them, scoop them up if you want to make some extra money in the future. But if you want to play them too, they're affordable.
Yeah, no, the 3DS is really good. I didn't play it yet. I got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I got it as $20. I got 2 copies of Zelda because my dog chewed one. It still works, but I just didn't want to take the chance of it not working. Two copies of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Mario Kart 7, which is really good, and I got Pokemon Moon, which I like a lot.
I still haven't bought Mario Kart 7. I need to buy that.
Yeah, Mario Kart 7's really good. Best Buy had it for like, I don't know, $29. I got it for like 21 or something, 22. I like it. It reminds me a lot of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. It's just you can't ride on you can't go upside down on walls and don't have that thing, but you can fly and stuff like that. It's pretty fun, and a lot of people play it online, and it's pretty good. I like it. But yeah, right now I'm very satisfied with my new 3DS. I think that's why I'm happy with Nintendo right now, because I got everything I'm getting from them. I'm satisfied with the 3DS. I'm really satisfied with that. I bought the old 3DS for my nephew just because I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and I ended up liking it when I got a new 3DS. So I don't know, and I got a lot of games on PS4 and Xbox One. I'm one that always says too, like if the company, you shouldn't have that as an excuse. I shouldn't say, oh, just because I have games on my other systems, that's because I shouldn't give this company a pass for slacking. But in the case right now, I'm pretty satisfied. Like I didn't beat Zelda. Like if you like a person like you run through Zelda. Like you already beat Horizon, right?
Yeah, but it took me like a week to beat Horizon.
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna run through Zelda pretty fast, and then you're gonna be one that's gonna be like, all right, well, what's going on next? You know, so yeah, Switch for you, maybe not. I would wait till like summer or at least at the end of the year. And this too is if Nintendo don't do no delays. Like if Nintendo has all the games they have planned to come out this year, I would say it's gonna be the best year for any console.
Yeah,
Of
if nothing gets delayed, oh yeah, this would be like. Matter of fact, I would say this. See, me, I was gonna wait till a couple years from now, but I'll be honest. If Xenoblade, I would buy it just so I don't have to worry about buying it later. Get what I'm saying? I probably would still be not using it as much because I'd be so busy with my PS4 and my Wii U. But if the majority of the games that they announced are supposed to come out this year come out, like if Xenoblade comes out, I have no doubt that Mario's coming. So that I don't even have to worry about that. But if Xenoblade comes, which no one really thinks, even like some of the diehard Nintendo fans don't think that's coming this year, that comes, I'll probably just go ahead and get the Switch.
I'm just saying, like, if all these games come out that they said, it's gonna be an awesome year. It'll be the better year. It'll be the best first year for any console this gen. Exclusive wise.
Yeah.
But you always got to count on delays because that could happen. But I mean, I hope it don't. I hope they just have a lot of these games ready and they just have them spaced out so they don't have no droughts. But yeah, what else was I going to talk about too? There was something else I had on oh yeah. So Nintendo with the Switch, they're saying this is their fastest selling console to date. What's your thoughts about that, Grim?
Honestly, I think that's a lie. It's more fast selling than the Wii.
That's what I found weird because the Wii, you couldn't even catch that motherfucker anywhere.
Yeah, that was completely sold out. That wasn't oh, it's sold out most places that you could find it somewhere else. No, the Wii, if you found it somewhere else, it was in the back alley. You wouldn't find it in the store, or someone's trunk. So it could be, but I doubt that.
Well, in my area, it's sold out. Like you can't get it anywhere. But the Wii was like, I remember when I worked at Walmart, man. I would pull out a pallet of Wii's and they would just fly the fuck off that pallet. Like it was insane. Like I never seen nothing like that. But that's what they're claiming. They're saying it's fastest on console. But if like how you said, if they're making just enough, that's not, what does that mean? So I don't know. They did say that the Switch is the fastest selling console in Nintendo's history, and Zelda is the best-selling launch title in that the company's ever seen.
That's tricky because is it doing better than Wii Sports?
Well, that was bundled with the console, though.
Yeah, but Nintendo, Nintendo said that was their best-selling launch game before, and it was bundled. So it's like, they're being funny with their words. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If they mean out not bundled, then I would have to say, is it selling better than Mario 64? That's the only other thing I could think.
That's what they said too. I heard an article saying that it sold better than Mario 64.
Oh well, then yeah. But is it selling better than Wii Sports? I don't know about that because I think Wii Sports, they eventually sold that separately, and I think Wii Sports sold separately for like 80 million anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think how crazy that sounds. How could that game sell for 80 million separately outside of the Wii without it being bundled when it came with every Wii? So unless Nintendo said it wrong or something, or wherever I got the information, it was wrong, but it's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that is a console that is bundled with the thing versus a game that's not. But that's what they said in one of the articles. It says if you had a hard time finding a Nintendo Switch at the store, there may be a good reason for that. The Friday through Saturday sales for Nintendo's latest consoles surpassed the first 2 days sales for any system in Nintendo's history. According to tweets from the New York Times, Nick Winfield, the info comes from an interview with Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé. So it says, what's more, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the best-selling launch title in company history, beating out Super Mario 64 for the cartridge-based Nintendo 64. That's not counting packed-in games like the Wii U's Nintendo Land mini game collection, of course. So it's not counting that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. That's all I can say. That's some good news for Nintendo. I mean, I really want to see the Switch do good. I mean, I like it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's a perfect system by any means. No, I wish it had more features. I wish it had more than it had at launch. But I totally understand what they had to do. And if it was, I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for me wanting Zelda, I wouldn't have bought it right away. I thought of it too, get it out of the way. I don't want to, I just get it now, because I know the games that I want. Like I loved on the Wii U. The two games I was playing a lot was before I sold it off was Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers. And I know I can get the better version of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe next month. So I know I'll play the shit out of that because I was playing the shit out of it when I had my Wii U. And then ARMS will be dropping, Street Fighter, Splatoon 2. I'm happy. And then I got my PS4 sitting over there with Horizon, Ghost Recon. I got my Xbox One with the games like Forza. I haven't played Horizon 3 really yet. I got the season pass for that. Look at my 3DS. I got games for that. I'm pretty happy with gaming right now. I'm pretty ecstatic with it. But I think if everything comes out as scheduled for the Switch, it'll be a really good first year. And it does have some third party that is announced, like NBA 2K18. What is it? Skyrim. They're doing like a special edition of Skyrim for it. And the cool thing about the Switch is like, say, we want to have like a little tournament. We can link our Switch. We could link our Switches up and do like a multiplayer that way. You don't even need online for that, right, Grim?
No. If it's like how the 3DS or the PSP and stuff like that was, no, you don't need to be. Now I don't know. I don't think Nintendo would charge you to do that, but they could, but I doubt it.
That's pretty cool. I think that's cool. So it is what it is. What games have you been playing lately? You want to talk a little bit about Horizon?
Yeah, I can. I beat Horizon. It's a pretty good game. I did a review. I was just surprised by it because I honestly didn't. I played Killzone Shadowfall. I didn't like that at all. So I'm like, I didn't really think that this game would be as good as it was. But it definitely was. This is definitely going to be a game for PlayStation. Like people are going to like say, "Hey, you got to play Horizon." I think it could be a new franchise for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good in the way the game. I don't want to spoil the ending. I'll just say it ended. It ended in a way where there's going to be some type of a sequel. So.
But you say from beginning to end, it was pretty well a good game.
Yeah. I enjoyed the
Okay.
game the entire time. Yeah.
So now how long did it take you to beat Horizon?
A week. I think a week. It took me a week to beat the game. But I
What'd
also got the platinum in the game too. So if it would have definitely, honestly, if you're not trying to get the platinum, the game will take. Now I know people that got the platinum in like 3 days. Don't know how that's even possible.
They say the platinum is pretty easy for Horizon. Is that true? Or
yeah, it's easy, but it's easy, but it's very time consuming. So I know people that showed me that they got the platinum of the game in 3 days, and I'm like, I don't even know how that's possible that you got this in 3 days, because that would mean you really didn't move from your seat or something, or somehow you did a perfect run where you didn't die not one time and you didn't lose not one battle, and I don't know what these people did. They could have possibly cheated, because you can hack your PlayStation to make the trophies pop. I don't know if they did that, but it took me a week. Now, I would actually recommend, if you're not a trophy hunter, Just play the game however you want to play it. And like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I guess you could say this is a spoiler or not. There are collectibles in this game, and they are fun to collect. The reward for collecting them outside of getting a trophy, I'm just gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna tell you what you get. I'm just gonna tell you it's a waste of your time. I'll just tell you that. It's really a waste of time. Those rewards you get for collecting those things is pointless. Don't even, unless you want the platinum, don't even do them, because it's. I was actually very disappointed. I collected all those things and I sold them, and what I got for them was garbage. I'm like, yeah,
Oh.
So
So what? So is like so with Horizon, a lot of people. I don't know why they do this comparison, but did you see any comparison to Far Cry?
yes, huge comparisons to Far Cry. I mean, Far Cry, what they mean by it's like Far Cry, it's this open world game. You reveal more of the map by going to high, like at Far Cry, you climb the towers and reveal the map. In this game, you climb the dinosaur robot, you reveal the map. You go around the world and you do different missions for different factions. You do the same thing in Far Cry. There's a bunch of different side activities to do. The open world structure is very similar to Far Cry.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
I would definitely say that.
Oh, okay. So it is like that. I don't know. Just from what I played, I only played 4 hours of it so far. So maybe that's why you finished. You actually played a long. You finished the game. So what else? The Tomb Raider comparison. I see that kind of.
I mean, other than the fact that it's a female with a bow, I mean,
Mhm.
that's about it. It's a female with a bow. So yeah, I guess if you want to be that basic with it, sure. That's. I mean, someone else could argue there are these places you go into. They aren't. They're not like when you went to the tombs and Tomb Raider. There were puzzles in there and like shit like these areas are like there's areas you walk through. They don't really you don't really do too much of nothing in them. You may jump every now and again or climb something, but you don't really. It's no puzzles in it. So no, other than the fact it's a female with a bow, I don't really know what's so similar to Tomb Raider about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Nate is what's up, Nate? Did you get a Switch, Nate? You did. I'm looking. I didn't know Nate put out some more videos recently. Um. What else? Oh, before I shut this live stream down because I'm not gonna stay on too long tonight. Uh, PS5 or PS4 got their update. Now what do you think about this whole boost mode thing, Grim?
I don't have a pro, so I don't know how that works.
No, I'm just saying, like, I was talking to Hydro, and he said, he said, like, I was asking about, like, UFC. I was like, did it do anything to it? And he said it did. He didn't see much of a difference. Like, the reason I asked you, you know a lot about PCs and what they're doing. They're overclocking stuff? And
I think that is what they're doing. They're overclocking stuff. You may or may not see any difference.
okay.
You may or may not see. It's just like kind of like if you have an Xbox One S model in certain games that have an unlocked frame rate. Well, because the Xbox One S is just a tiny bit more powerful than the normal Xbox One, you may see slightly better frame rate. Like I think that's what the boost mode is going to end up doing. And depending upon the game, I mean, if there's a game with a locked frame rate, well, it doesn't even matter. You're just not going to see a performance increase because the game won't allow it to happen. So I don't really know. I don't really hear too many people talking about it other than like the diehard Sony dudes that are excited about everything that PlayStation does.
Yeah, they get excited about anything that PlayStation does. I know procrastination. He just got his PS4 Pro, and he's telling me it looks better. And then Hydro, he told me that it's not much of a difference with certain games. He said that now the one he says he sees a difference with it is Rise of the Tomb Raider. He says that looks really good. He said, but I was asking him about UFC if that did anything different to that, and he said no.
But I think boost mode, like I said, I think boost mode is just going to be a mild, I mean, slight little bump in frame rate. I think that's all it really does. It doesn't do anything else. And I think it's for older titles too.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the update. What did it come out Thursday? The latest update. Was it Thursday?
I
I
got
don't
an
know.
update a couple of days ago, the
Yeah, it was a couple of days
4.5,
ago.
something like that.
Now you can like put external hard drives on, right?
Yeah, if I would have known that, I got probably changed up my hard drive maybe some months ago, like the beginning of this year. If I would have known this update was coming with that, I would have just waited and just plugged in the external. But it's too late now.
I'm with you. I already got a 2 terabyte in it. I mean, I can go get another 4 terabyte, but I'm not doing that. I'm rolling with what I got. I'm done with that type of stuff. I couldn't see that was $90 too. That's enough for me. But now the Xbox One, I got the 4 terabyte. I don't know. It just seems like for me, I'm happy with what I got. Like I said, if my PS4 takes a dump, or if I say I do get a 4K TV, and it looks like there isn't going to be another PS5 coming out for a good while, then I might consider one. I don't know, but I'm not. It seems like a lot of these dudes see something new and they got to jump to it. Like meaning, like if I have a console that's already doing what it does, I'm not going to run just because it's something a little bit better, but the same thing. That's my issue. See, the Switch is a new console. That's going to be playing games soon that you cannot get other places. Like that's what I think Microsoft should do at this point with the Xbox One. It seems like, I'm satisfied with the Xbox One, but it seems like a lot of people aren't, they're not satisfied with it,
Yeah, because this generation more than ever, people are going to PC. So you got a PC. Now, me, I have a PC, but I know the issues with PC. And I know that my Xbox One, I don't care what type of rig you have. I don't care how much money you spent on your rig. Your computer will have issues when it does anything because it's a piece of technology made by a person.
Mm-hmm.
Running games like me, I got Dark Souls 3 on the PC. Like not even when it first came out, like maybe some months. And I recently re-downloaded it because it didn't work right. Now it works fine, and I don't know when they fixed it, but I had the game for about a year and I hadn't played it because it was fucked up. So I don't have to worry about on the console normally. Most games they work fine. There are the exception to the rules, but for consoles, I don't have to deal with that issue. So I will still use my Xbox One. Like, but people say, "Oh, this game is on Xbox One and PC, just buy it there." The benefits the PC may give me, that's cool, like better graphics and better frame rate. But guess what? Can't enjoy that if the game don't turn on. Can't enjoy that the game keeps crashing. Might as well just I'll take the it working all the time than the higher, over the frame rate and resolution. That's just me though.
Oh, okay. See, I'm happy with the Xbox One. I'm not. I mean, I do think they need to announce some stuff. I will say that. But I mean, I just don't see the biggest problem with it. Like everybody said, and it's funny. Okay, so how people were bitching, like, with the PS4's got this game in 900p, and then you have the Xbox One in 720. The thing's funny. Like, you got some people with the Switch. They're saying, "Oh, I'll play Zelda on the Wii U." And then I'm saying, okay, well, wouldn't that be the superior or the inferior version because you're playing it at was it 720p?
On the Wii U is 720p. On the Switch is 900p when you have it.
That's what I'm saying. So that's like a deciding factor between the PS4 and the Xbox One on third-party games, and then that's what makes no sense to me in this community.
Well, I mean, it makes sense to an extent. Like, I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. Like, if someone were to say to me, "Oh, I already have an Xbox One. I'm not buying a PS4 just because it got better frame rate. I mean, or better resolution." And 9 times out of 10, it's not that big of a difference, right? I can understand that. Now, if someone is saying they have a Wii U and they're not finna buy a Switch just to play Zelda at 900p compared to 720p, that would make sense too. Why, you're spending $300 to essentially play something at slightly better resolution.
Yeah.
Anything, yeah, I will understand someone like that. Now, someone that's being a hypocrite that cares about frame rate and resolution all the time, but then when their favorite system then got the best frame rate, they don't care anymore, then that doesn't make sense.
Well, this to me, this generation, like with third party, and that was like never a thing last generation with the PS3 and the Xbox, or PS3 and the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But all of a sudden, like this generation, if it's a little bit different with the resolution, it's like, oh, I can't play that. I can't do this. Can't tell the difference from a tank to a tree. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and then you hear people talking about, it just don't make any sense. Like I heard people say, "Oh, I'll get the Wii U version." I was like, these are some of the people I seen talking about that type of shit with the PS4 and Xbox One. That's what kind of like boggles my mind. I'm like, okay, but I don't know. But yeah, other than that, what's the next game you're going to be getting into, Grim?
I mean, until I get Zelda, I mean, I got Niho.
What is that one? I get that mixed up with okay, Neo, and then what's the other one? Near?
Yeah, I mean, Niho is more like Dark Souls. Nier is just a traditional kind of hack and slash, like a Devil May Cry type thing. It's more like that.
Okay, and then this Near is going to be like kind of like Bayonetta or something. Or?
Yeah. Nier is made by the same people who made Bayonetta.
Okay.
Niho, yeah. Niho is more like Dark Souls than anything else.
So what do you think about the reviews for Zelda? Are you pretty surprised that they're giving it like a 98 on Metacritic and stuff?
I'm not surprised by that. I'm just surprised about what I hear, because I understand people who only play Nintendo stuff saying this, but people who play other things, they're right now being completely delusional. I'm not. Look, I keep trying to tell people when I get this game, like Frozen asked me, he said, Grim, when you review Horizon, are you going to mention that Horizon takes a lot of things from a lot of different games? There's so many games that take a lot of things from a lot of different games. But let me tell you what the difference is. When I play Horizon, do I notice that they take stuff away, took stuff from other games and put in this game? Sure. But that has no bearing on how good the game is. Get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would have an issue if someone said Horizon's unique. See, this is what people are basically doing. For Guerrilla Games, keep in mind, Guerrilla Games only made the Killzone, and that's a first-person shooter, right?
Yeah.
The things they did in this game is unique and different for that studio. It is not unique and different for the genre or for gaming as a whole, right?
Uh-huh.
This is the problem with Zelda that I have with people. Nothing I've seen in Zelda is unique to the genre or gaming as a whole. It is unique only because this is Zelda, and Zelda doesn't do stuff like this. Get what I'm saying? So they're giving the game extra brownie points and saying it's doing unique stuff when it's really not. Now the problem is going to be, Dave, I swear, when I get my hands on the game and I review it, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna think it's a 9 or a 10. It's just not going to be for these silly reasons I hear people say. It's going to be a 9 or a 10, like Horizon. I gave it 8. It's a really good game. Does it do anything new or unique? No. The only thing Horizon does that a lot of open world games don't do very well is that I would tell you this about Horizon. You ever play like an open world game, and after a while, you know, the game gets so easy, you kind of like mindlessly start killing people because it's just easy? Horizon, it's never easy. It's always a good challenge, and that what makes the game fun. But that's still not unique to Horizon. It's just most games today don't do that. Zelda is in the same bracket. When people say, "Oh my God," like I heard people say crazy stuff like, "Dave, when you climb up this tower, it reveals more of the map," and I'm like, that's not, you know, they're like I'm hearing people say, "Oh my God, the horse stays on the trail without you having to press the buttons." Like they're like saying shit that's common, like it's new, and it's new for Zelda. It's not new anywhere else.
A lot of them probably too has never played a Zelda game. And it's just like, if you're a person that's never played Zelda before and you go into something like this, it's gonna impress you probably. You know, because a lot of these guys I see talking about Zelda probably never played Zelda. I mean, at all, and none of them. You know, and it just they're probably. I mean, Zelda is like a game that doesn't hold your hand. It's not going to hold your hand. It'll give you an idea of where to go. You know, give you a little bit of direction, but it's not a game that's going to hold your hand at all. That's how Zelda's always been. I mean, in the first Zelda, if you knew where to go, the game would be pretty quick, wouldn't you say?
The first I mean, if you knew where to go and was good at the game, yeah, it'd be really quick.
Yeah, it's like that's the trick to Zelda. Like the first game, what makes it long is you don't know where to go. You know, if you had like what you had in like games like these games nowadays, where it just points you in the direction or highlights it on the map, like yeah, you can highlight your where to go on the map in Zelda, but it's not really telling you where to go all the time. You know, you have to like It's one of them games that just don't hold your hand a lot of the times. But nowadays, these games like, I think Shadow of Mordor, it just shows you where to go each time, or like Grand Theft Auto, the mission's over here. Follow this little trail.
Yeah, like that. That's how. I will say that about Horizon. There's so many different icons and so many different things to do on the map. It feels overwhelming. Whereas Zelda, they don't do that. So Zelda feels more like Zelda takes a lot of things from Minecraft. And the thing is, probably a lot of people don't play Minecraft. When you play Minecraft, it's a big world to explore. And every time you play the game, it's a different world. I know Zelda isn't like that, but every time you load a new map, it's a big world to explore. And it encourage it. There are objectives. Like you can go to basically hell in Minecraft. You can go fight the Ender Dragon in Minecraft. There are things to do, but the game doesn't force you to do it. It's really relaxed, and it's kind of like do whatever you want. You want to build a house, you can go do that. You want to go eat some food, you want to go hunt, you can go do that, right? Zelda has that same vibe. Thing is, people, and I can't say is that they don't play these other games. It's something about games. It's just like if Disney did something, like Disney's is so attached to so many people's childhood, Disney could do something that plenty of other people have done, but because this is Disney, it's special. Or now they think it's different. It's not really different. It's just, well, you like Disney so much, you become a little blind. It's just like so many people I know that like sneakers. I could show them a shoe made by a brand they don't like, and I could show that same shoe, but it had the Air Jordan logo on it, and they'll fucking love it. It's the same shit happening right now. I like
Yeah.
Zelda as much as the next guy, but when I'm hearing people say like crazy crap, like you know, like they're getting excited. Like I keep hearing people say something about walking up this mountain that's snowy, and they're like surprised that there's a tunic that helps you survive in the snow up there. So I'm like, basically all I'm hearing is this: you're excited that the developer placed the item on top of a mountain. That's because that's all I can really understand them saying. Now, I haven't played the game yet. Maybe I'll feel different once I get to that point. But that's all I really hear. I don't hear anything else. That would be no different if someone sat here and said, "Oh my God, I'm playing Horizon, and they gave me a bow." Okay, like, all right. I mean, that's cool, but they talk about it like it's magic or something.
What's interesting in Zelda, now you got to take consideration. I have not played Zelda. The last one I played the Wind Waker on the Wii U, and the one before that was the Ocarina of Time. And then from then on, I didn't play any of the Zeldas. I played mainly a lot of them before that. So this one, it's pretty impressive when you're walking around and you need more. Do you have to cook this food to do this? Like there's one of the shrines, and you have to pretty much to get through it because it's all cold. You have to make fucking hot peppers. You have to cook them up, eat them. And it gives you more of long lasting time to get through to this one shrine. But I mean, they're saying people. One guy beat the game in an hour. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he speed ran the game. Like because I think you can go straight to Ganon and kill him if you're good enough.
Yeah, but did he do something like he was powerful enough to fight him, or?
I think he was just good. I didn't watch that all the way through. I think he was just good enough to do it.
Oh, okay. I don't want to watch
because in his speed run, he actually tells you like different sections, and all it seemed like he did was he beat the plateau, which is like the tutorial level, and then he went straight for Ganon. That's all I saw.
It lets you go right for Ganon. The guy tells you, he says you can go for Ganon now, but you're probably not going to be powerful enough. Go get go get your others. Go do the other stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what he did. He just went straight for Ganon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like Zelda is pretty good. It's a good game. I like Horizon 2. As I'm saying, you got two really good games this year. And I don't know. No, Mass Effect. I knew Mass Effect is coming out. I never really got into that series. I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah. I mean, do you think it'll beat out Zelda and Horizon?
It depends on who you ask. I think personally for me, Zelda. I think the only game this year that can compete with Zelda that I know that's coming out that isn't a remaster is probably Persona 5. That's for me personally that I can think of. The only other game that could, and it's only because this series, to me, the fun is very high. Like if I were to say the hitters from the big three, Nintendo has Zelda, Sony has Persona 5, even though that's not made by them, but I think that's only on the PlayStation stuff. And well, hold on, wait a minute. Kingdom Hearts comes out this year. That could be big. I don't know though. And then Microsoft, the only thing I know they have that I would say personally, I know for most people it won't, Crackdown, because I like a lot of people bought the first Crackdown just because it came with the Halo 3 beta on the 360. I loved Crackdown. That's one of my favorite games that Xbox has. That game it's not a serious story. It's none of that. It's just fun.
Yeah, I like Crackdown.
It's just straight up fun to play. So, you know,
I never played the second one, but I played the first one.
I played both of them. I didn't beat the second one. My friend had the second one. At that time, that's when people still used to like go over each other's houses and borrow games. So I never bought the game because I just borrowed it from him so much. So, but I have the first one, and the third one I'm looking forward to. So,
What's up, Toxic Donut and Hydro? And I think I said Pumpkin Head 79. I think Pumpkin Head 79. I just forget his last numbers. Oh, Frozen Magma too. What's up, guys?
Like I remember people were getting upset with me when I was talking about Nihon being so similar to Dark Souls, and I was just telling people, listen, I like Dark Souls, but I had Bloodborne. I hadn't beat Bloodborne yet. I was just kind of tired of those games, right? Because I play those games for a certain reason, and the last ones I was playing were pretty easy, and I was just kind of bored with them. Not that I hate them, I was just kind of tired of playing them, and people could not stand that I was saying that Nihon is like Dark Souls, and I'm like, these people are like, it's nothing like Dark Souls. I'm like, you never played them then, because that's not it's not even, it's like someone saying like, I know there's a difference between NBA 2K and NBA Live, but they're both basketball games. You know what I'm saying? They're not that fucking different. There are differences. Trust me, I know, because I know Live is pretty unrealistic compared to NBA 2K, but they're fucking basketball games. There is definitely a similarity there. When people are like, there's nothing like Dark Souls, I'm like, get out of here. So when I get my hands on Zelda and stuff, it's gonna be pretty interesting.
It's because it's an exclusive to PlayStation and it has to be different. They're just boosting it up.
Yeah.
Probably a good game, don't get me wrong, but it looks a lot like Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Like I beat basically the first level, and I will say this: it's not different. Is it harder? I wouldn't say it's harder, but so far I will say I died more. And remember, I've only played the first level of Nihon. I've died not the tutorial level, but the actual first real level. I've died more in that first real level than I died in the entire game of Bloodborne. So I beat the main story of Bloodborne, and the only time I really died in Bloodborne was with the last boss fight, and it's because I didn't. You pretty much need bullets to kill him. I didn't have no bullets, so that's why I kept dying. But I will say that this game difficulty level is on the level of the normal Souls games. Bloodborne is probably the easiest one I played. That's probably why so many people like it, because it's easy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you say it's easier than like the Dark Souls games?
Yeah, I mean, it's still challenging, but if you played the other Dark Souls games, Bloodborne is pretty easy.
Pumpkinhead says, I beat Neo. It has a lot of similarities to Dark Souls. Bloodborne structure is a bit different, though, with chapters and missions on a map, etc. Okay.
Yeah, there are definitely differences. I'm just saying at its core, they're similar, very similar. It's just like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, all those games are made by Platinum. There are differences, but they are very similar to one another.
Really, other than that, I haven't got too much. There was news that I know people are very upset with this new Call of Duty, with the remaster. Dude, I thought it was weird with the remaster. They released free DLC for it. I think it was like 6 maps or something. Now they're doing a variety map pack for $15. Now the weird thing with this is this DLC back in the day was $9.99. they're charging $14.99 for it now.
Anything different with it?
They just remastered it.
Oh, well, the only reason why they charge the 15 now is because they always charge 15 for their map pads. That's probably the only reason why.
Well, and you know, another crazy thing. Well, this is the argument. The argument is there's two arguments, actually three. Okay. The DLC back in the day, like I said, was $9.99. Okay. The other argument is they say they're charging DLC for DLC. Because a lot of people are saying that, you know, Call of Duty 4 with it not being sold separately is DLC. So they're saying DLC on top of DLC. The third thing is that even if you have the season pass, you still got to pay extra for this map pack.
Yeah, because there's no season pass for Call of Duty 4. That's why.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no season. So I mean, again, if you don't like it, don't buy it. That's all I could tell you. Because I got Infinite Warfare and COD 4, and I'll be honest with you, I play Infinite Warfare. I haven't been on. I got all that on my Xbox. I haven't turned my Xbox One on in probably. I think I haven't turned it on this whole year. So that's what, some months. I haven't turned this motherfucker on. Matter of fact, I turned it on to download my free games with live, and then I turned the shit off. So other than that, I don't turn it on. I haven't played Call of Duty since like last year. And I'll say this. If you don't like it, don't buy it. That's all I could tell you. Do I have a personal problem with it? No, because I don't think I'll be buying the season pass DLC for any of that. Because I like Call of Duty. I don't like it that much. So where I would buy the DLC. Like even back in the day, when like the only thing I would buy for the DLC, the season pass for, is zombies. And even then, I don't play zombies with other people like I used to. Like in the 360 era, you know, we had clans and we had people like, you know, everybody has different schedules now. I just don't do that anymore. So even then, I probably would just stick with the first zombie map they give me, and I wouldn't even bother with the other stuff. So,
well, I with Call of Duty, I don't buy the season pass in Call of Duty. I buy the first couple map packs, and usually by the second to last one or the actual last one, I don't buy it. You know, this one I'll probably end up getting, but I won't buy. I'll buy maybe the next one if I'm still playing. But I don't buy season passes with Call of Duty. Now with Battlefield, I do. I haven't bought I always just buy a couple map packs. Saves me money. I might spend maybe $30 in total on DLC for Call of Duty instead of spending $50 for the season pass. But it depends on if I'm playing it still or not. You know, I like COD 4 Remastered. It's really good. And I like the Infinite Warfare. It's not that bad. Like at first, I wasn't. You know, I didn't like it. I tried to give it a couple shots, and I just got used to it. I guess because playing COD 4, and I wanted to try. You know, one night wanted to play the other one. I ended up liking it, but I don't know. Call of Duty. They say they're going to go back to its roots. I think with people now, there's a lot. The reason I brought this up, there's a lot of people upset about this. That's why. I just the DLC. It's here. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's like you said. All you can do is not buy it. But I just don't understand like people complaining about it that's not going to buy it anyways. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, that's my biggest thing. Like people complain about shit they're not even going to buy anyways. So I don't know. But what does Hydro said? He says Rise is pretty awesome. I bet that game. Dave, do you recommend the COD remastered? I was thinking of getting. Yeah, COD remastered is good, but I mean, a lot of people don't like Infinite Warfare. But I mean, I don't mind it. It's not a bad game. But I mean, if a lot of people are going to wait on COD 4 to be sold separately, I mean, I would wait. If you waited this long, I would just wait a little bit longer because they might sell it soon. You know, by itself.
I did hear now what you could do is if you have a normal copy of COD Infinite Warfare. You can buy Call of Duty 4 for like $20 through it, but you still need the game.
And they need that copy though too to play the game.
Yeah, you still need the game, but I'm just saying, like, I think that's as far as they're gonna go with it. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna sell it separately because they know that's how they're getting their money for it. You know, that's I think if Call of Duty sales for Infinite Warfare did better, that wouldn't be the case. They would sell it separately, but they know that's what people want. And they know that's the way they're going to get sales because they know there's a lot of people just sitting on the fence waiting to get that by itself, and eventually they're going to give in. And Activision knows that, so that's why they're probably not going to sell it separately. And if they do, it's going to be it could be anytime right now, and if it's not anytime right now in the next few months, it's probably going to be later on down the road, you know. Depends on how long you want to wait, Hydro. But if I waited this long, I'd just give it a little time to see what's going on. Just see what, you know, E3, you know, I don't know if you want to wait that long, but E3, they might say, hey, COD 4 remastered, sold separately, physical copy, you know. Just give it time. It is good, though. I like it. They did a really good job on the remaster. I like Infinite Warfare. I play that from time to time. I haven't played it recently with all the, you know, getting the 3DS and stuff, but it's good. You know, it's definitely. At first, I wasn't down with everything going on with it, but I don't know. I don't. Call of Duty's in an iffy place. Like if they don't, their sales definitely weren't that good for with the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and they know they have to do something. But to basically get their money back, they're using Call of Duty 4 Remastered, getting some of their money back. But what Dave said, they'll avoid selling it separately. Yeah, they're gonna. But if they are gonna sell it separately, it might be around, you know, next couple months. But I don't think they're gonna do that because that's their way to get the money back. They know people want that shit, and they know it's good. You know, people are gonna give in eventually. Or is that only on Infinite Warfare? You have to have Infinite Warfare to play Call of Duty 4 Hydro. You have to have that. Destiny 2, Battlefield 2, gonna overshadow the new COD this year. Oh, I'm sure Destiny 2 is. I mean, Destiny 2 is probably gonna be an awesome game, and so is Battlefield 2. You know, I'm looking forward to both of them. And Shadow, what's that other thing? That Shadow of War, I think it's called, the new Shadow of Mordor. I know Grim's not the biggest fan of Shadow of Mordor. What do you think about Shadow of War, Grim?
It just looks like the one from before. With it looks like there's some type of what do you call it? Strategy element to it now. Nah, that's the only difference I saw.
The reveal for it yet? Like the actual reveal, or just a CGI trailer still?
No, I saw gameplay. And
oh, okay, so they got gameplay out for it. See, I thought it was coming a little bit. I want to see that then.
Yeah, to me, it looks identical. The only difference now is like you can kind of like you remember before when you recruited different orcs and stuff. Now you can actually like physically see them all the time and tell them what to do, and sometimes the orcs can betray you or something like that. So
cool. See, I like Shadow of Mordor. I like the story to it. I enjoyed it. You know, Mad Max was kind of a similar game. Mad Max, I just think, has you doing a lot more searching for stuff and scraps, a lot more. You know, like I don't know, Shadow of Mordor just to me was a pretty good game. But I could see where people get tired of it, you know, with those type of games over and over. But I don't know. I'm gonna get it day one. I mean, I'm interested to see what the new Assassin's Creed's gonna be like. No doubt in my mind, Battlefront 2 will be good. And Destiny 2 should be a pretty good game, you know. But any questions you guys got in the live chat that you want to ask, or before I shut this down, I wanted to at least give you guys a podcast today. You know, I want to play a little bit of Zelda tonight and stuff. I wish I could stream it. I was talking to Grimpachi about, you know, capture cards and stuff. I've been looking. It just right now I'm a little worried about my capture, if my computer can run my capture card, because it says it has specs. My computer I'm using right now is only an i3. Grim says that might not be an issue, but I'm trying to, you know, gonna plan on getting some kind of way to capture my Switch. It might be in not the best quality, but it'll work. I mean, for people that want to see me play the Switch. I mean, if I could get 30 frames, that should be good. You know what I'm saying? Like something that at least, you know, play some gameplay, you know. It does a live stream. I don't know. Probably got to see what happens. I just spent a lot of money recently. I just can't really. I don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money. I mean, capture cards aren't cheap, like at all. I know Frozen's got a good deal, but I would like to try to get one cheaper if I can. I found one today for $80 bucks, $89. It's a used Elgato, but I'm not big on buying stuff like electronics used. But I mean, I might snag it. I don't know. Hydro says i3 should be fine for Elgato. The CPU just matter of rendering times. I mean, I don't have to have it going at the highest quality. I just want it to play at least so it's like, something decent, But what's his Hydro said? I wonder if the new Tomb Raider is coming out this year. You think there's a new Tomb Raider coming out this year, Grim?
I haven't heard of one. I doubt it though.
Did you hear that thing about like Ubisoft said they're releasing 4 games and a big expansion? What would be your thoughts on that? Mine would be South Park, the one that's coming. What's it called? Fractured but Whole, or whatever it's called. And it would be Assassin's Creed. And then the other 2, what do you think the other 2 are?
From Ubisoft?
They're saying Splinter Cell. That's what Frozen says. Splinter Cell.
Well, Ghost Recon just came out, right?
Well, it's besides that.
Oh, well.
We got 4 more coming.
Oh, I don't know then. I know For Honor came out. I don't even hear nobody talk about that anymore. That was
For Honor died the fuck out. I'm so glad I did not get that game.
I didn't think it was gonna be good anyway. So
I don't know,
Ubisoft is trying this online shit. Like it's like Steep. I wanted that game, but then they said it was always online. I'm like, always online snowboarding game. Like, what is the point of that? Like, I'm not buying that crap. And then guess what? You ain't really talking about Steep anymore. No.
Well, the thing with going back to the what's that one game, For Honor? When they first announced it, it was one of my most anticipated games. I played the beta, and I was having fun, and I don't know what it was. After I played all the modes they had to offer, and I know the game offers more, probably not. I couldn't see much more, but just more stuff like levels and stuff. But to me, it was just like, I don't know. I just got bored with it. I was like, I don't know if I could see myself playing this all the time. And I was really hyped up for it. Did you ever do that? You're kind of like excited a little bit about a game, and then when you
after playing the beta.
Yeah, and after playing the beta, you just like
no. Actually, I don't think that's ever like. Even when I played the Niho beta, I just said, "Oh, this is cool." Like I don't normally play betas for that long anyway. Like when I played the Ghost Recon with you guys, that was cool, but I never like got extremely hyped or even remotely. Like if I play the beta of something, the only thing it may do is make me say, "Okay, I'm gonna look more into the game once it releases or something," But it's like even Nier. I played the demo, the beta of Nier. Right, and I already knew I was going to like Nier, so playing the beta, it's just like I get to play the game early for a little bit. That's all it feels like to me.
Oh, okay. Someone says the one who named Shadow Fractured but Whole is probably coming to the Switch. That's why it's taking so long. Okay. My thing with Ghost Recon's fun. Like I didn't want to get Ghost Recon with everything I had to play, but I like that beta, man. It was good. And I was already planning on getting the game. It's a fun game. I like it. It's a little repetitive, so far. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be like a lot. It's like go find this, go get this intel. But now the one thing I do want to mention before I shut this whole podcast down, I almost forgot. All right, so you're seeing like a trend that is going on a lot, and now it's unfortunately going on with consoles. Like we've seen it with the Switch. Like I call it like the whole Capcom thing, what they did with Street Fighter. They did the same thing with the Switch, and now you got Ghost Recon. It's going to add its online multiplayer, later on, like meaning the deathmatch and stuff. Like a lot of this stuff, like now it's like buy now, get later. Do you agree with that stuff, Grim? And notice the trend?
Yeah, but it's not. The only issue I have with that when it comes to reviews and stuff like me, right? GTA 5, I bought that on last gen. I bought it when it came out. I pre-ordered it. Got it when it came out, and I knew that the online wasn't going to be there at launch. I didn't care because I didn't really care to play online. You know what I'm saying? If you care for that stuff, then I would say wait till it comes. If you don't care and you're fine with what they're offering with you, like I was cool. If the GTA 5 never had any online, I would still pay $60 for it. So for me, it just depends. Uh, if I want to get a game
Well,
like
they did it with Splatoon too. That was another game that they did it with too.
Splatoon at launch didn't have multiplayer.
It was missing like a lot of stuff. They added
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, if you're cool with what they're giving you at launch, I mean, buy at launch. If you're not, then it's just like it's no different than buying a system at launch. You can either wait and then they give you everything, or if you feel everything that you get at launch is cool enough for you to buy now, it's just up to you.
oh, Hydro says Dave let Grim know Steep is free to play on Xbox for the weekend.
That's cool. I mean, I may check it out. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too because I'm kind of interested in that game myself. But thanks for telling us that, Hydro. No, but I'm just noticing, like, I notice this like trend now where we're getting like it's not now it's happening with consoles. Like, hey, you might not have your features now, but wait till summer, you're gonna get them. Street Fighter was. I think Street Fighter shocked a lot of people because that was it's a big game, and it took a while for it to like a lot of the story stuff and everything to come.
well,
Uh,
they said, remember, they said if Sony didn't step in, the game wouldn't have came out until 2018.
mhm.
But what does that really mean? Does that mean that the game, like people thought that meant if it wasn't for Sony giving them money, it would have never came out? No, Capcom probably would have never released it the way they did. They would have released it in 2018 when it was completed. Sony giving them the extra money, that probably gave them some type of leeway where they said, well, we'll just release the motherfucker whenever you say so. And Sony probably said, release it now. And I guarantee Street Fighter 5 will probably be completed, if not done. Like it'll be probably totally done. They'll probably say we're not making any more content around 2018, which ain't nothing but next year. So I mean, hey, look, like the only thing I give Street Fighter is that they did tell people before the game came out that it wasn't ready. So I give them, at least they were honest. They told people it wasn't done. So
I like Hydro's saying. I agree with you on that, Grim. They did tell people. Hydro's saying Far Cry Primal was pretty boring. I like Far Cry Primal. I mean, I've been playing it not this past week or anything, but I've been playing it like a couple weeks ago. I still got to play more. I got to finish it, but that's a good game. I like Far Cry Primal. I
I
liked it a
played a
lot
little bit
better than
of it.
Far Cry 4. Huh?
I played a little bit of it. It was cool. The little bit I played of it.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good game. I mean, I like it. The fourth Far Cry wasn't really much. I mean, I'm gonna finish it one day. I'm pretty far in it, but I don't know. I didn't like the story to it. I mean, I think I like the caveman thing a little bit better. I'm not big on cavemen, but I like what they did with that. Uh, Frozen says new Splinter Cell maybe showed at E3, and new Far Cry, and probably expansion for Ghost Recon. Okay. Yeah, they do have the expansion. They showed a little bit of them, what they're going to be for Ghost Recon. They're going to be, I'd say, a little later on. I'd say they said they're going to be doing a lot of updates free for the game. The season pass is $40. It could be out anytime soon. I don't think any of that. Just the team deathmatch possibly, or it's like a PvP. I don't know. I'd look more into it, but the game is pretty good. If you're not interested in Horizon or Zelda at the moment, and you want like a shooter, I would definitely go with Ghost Recon. But I think I'm going to shut down the podcast, guys. I wanted to give you a podcast, like I said, at least this weekend. I want to thank Grimpachi for joining me. Maybe me and Grim will do another one next weekend.
Yeah,
Thank you, Grim, for joining, man.
no problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Hydro, Toxic Donut, Frozen Magma, Tristan the Pest. I didn't see you there, buddy. The one named Shadow. Who else we got going on? 16-bit Gamester, Melly 814. Gordon Dizzle, Derek, Dexter K. And I think that's it. Oh, Pumpkinhead 79. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I think I said Toxic Donut too. Far Cry 4 was also pretty mediocre. Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys, and I should have some videos out possibly this week, and for sure I'll probably be in another podcast next week. And thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Grim, again for joining. Later,
No
YouTube.
problem.